Kung tayo ngayon, tax na tayo, class, ha? So, our, we will try to finish today, first for our meeting sa tax, 5% to 10% in the board exam. 5% to 10% sa 70 questions sa board exam. Ang RFBT kasi, class, ang RFBT, mga nasa 100 questions. 5 to 10% ay galing sa basic principles. So, yan ang ating topic. After basic principles, unahin natin yung mga shorty na topic. Ano yung mga short na topic? Transfer and business taxes. So ito mga more or less mga 2 to 3 hours. Transfer taxes, dalawa. Donor's tax. Yan, mga 2 to 3 hours yan. Estate tax naman, mga 3 to 6 hours. Yan. Mas mahabang estate tax. Ay, hindi po pwedeng 3 hours. 6 to 8 hours ang estate tax. Sa ibang 6 to 8, 6 to 9. Sa iba nga, umaabot pa ng isang semester yan eh. Then business taxes, yung dalawa, value added tax at saka OPT. Ito ay mga 5 hours, more or less. Ito mga 3 hours. Not so much yung excise taxes on certain goods. Pahapyaw lang naman yan. Halos hindi tinatanong sa board exam pero bibigyan ko kayo ng materials. Puro mga 1 hour will do here. Kasi ito yung mga major na topic na tinatanong sa board exam. Ito mga 5 questions, 5 to 10 questions. Ito 5 to 10 questions, 3 to 5 questions more or less. Ito heavy. Pag nagtanong dito, talagang heavy computation. Okay. So, ito 2 to 3 hours. Again, mga 5 to 10 questions ito sa board exam. 5 to 10 questions, number of questions. Yan. So, umpisa tayo sa basic principles. Puro theory ito. All the rest, computation na yan. Donor's tax, estate tax, VAT, OPT, computation and theory. Computation and theory. We will, kaya ang exam nyo dyan, combination of theory and problem. Of course, dahil more on the problem yan, pag nag-exam tayo dito, mga 70-30. 70% problem, 30%, 20 to 30% lang ang theory. Except of course, this. Purely basic principles yan, so puro theory yan. Meron kayong handout sa basic principles also, class. So, sa tax, yan, definition, purpose, pagkatapos na yung characteristics. Yan, characteristics. Maraming tanong dito sa word na characteristics na to. Characteristics at saka classifications. Classification of taxes. Ito may pinakamaraming important source of question in the board exam. So, tax is defined either as a process or as an inherent power. So, we'll just discuss it as a tax here as one of the 3 inherent powers of the state. Inherent because it is automatic. Even if not provided in the Constitution. See? or any law of the land. Nakita nyo na, class? Kasi kung ito survival ito eh. Yan yung, pag tinanggal mo itong tatlong inherent powers na to, mamamatay ang gobyerno. O baliwala ang gobyerno. Tatlo sila. Yung power of taxation, saan kukuha ng? Where will the government get money for its expenses? Pag tinanggal mo naman ang police power, how can the government protect the welfare of the people? See? Ang police power dito, hindi power of the police, strictly. It is broader, much broader than that. It is the power of the state to enact laws to promote the public welfare, to protect and promote the welfare of the people. Halimbawa, nag-one-child policy. Kita mo ang China? Bakit nag-one-child policy ang China? Kasi napapansin nila sumosobra ng laki. Sumosobra ng laki ng China, sumosobra ng dami ng tao. Pag sumobra ang dami ng tao, class, hindi na makokontrol ang forces of economics. Yung law of supply and demand magiging erratic na. Mamumroblema ang tao economically later on. So, ano ginawa nila? One-child policy. Isa lang ang anak mo. Pwede ka magkaanak ng pangalawa kung ang una mong anak ay babae because they need men. At hindi lahat. May mga areas lang ng China na pwede. And that was 40 years ago. Now, tinapos na nila yan kasi ngayon, kailangan na naman nila. Di ngayon, saka. See? Hindi katulad sa Japan. Sa Japan naman, class, walang gana gumawa ng baby ang mga Hapon. Kaya ang problema ng Japan, karamihan sa population nila, more than 50% senior citizen. Yun naman ang problema ng Japan. Ang China, hindi. Sumobrang explosion ng population. Kaya under police power, one-child policy sila noon. Ngayon, tinanggal na yon because feeling nila okay na sila economically. And power of eminent. The power of eminent domain. Pag wala yung eminent domain na yan, the power of the state to take private property for public use. Siyempre, magbabayad ang gobyerno. Wala kang makikitang mga kalsada. Saan tayo dadaan? Wala kang makikitang mga tulay. See? But because of eminent domain, kahit na private property nyo yan, dadaanan ng gobyerno yan. Kung yan ang pinakamagandang daan para gumawa ng kalsada. Pero babayaran kayo, class, ng gobyerno. Yun nga lang, whether you like it or not. Hindi mo pwede sabihin, hoy, dyan yung yung lugar na yan, dyan unang nag-date ang nanay ko tsaka tatay ko sa puno na yan. Hindi pwedeng daanan yung puno na yan. Umanap ka na ibang kalsada. Kung yun ang nakikita ng gobyerno na pinaka-best na pwedeng daanan, lalagyan ng road, sisirahin ng gobyerno yung puno na yan na mahal mo, kaya bubunutin ng gobyerno yan, dyan dadaan ang kalsada. O kaya dyan gagawa ng tulay. See? Pero sa tatlong inherent powers of the state na to, na without them, a state is impotent. A state is inutil. A state cannot really survive in the long run. Sa kanilang tatlo, this is the most important. Kasi pera yan. Pag walang pera, patay ang gobyerno. Yan ang concept ng tinatawag class nilang, yan ang tinatawag nilang life blood theory. Taxes are lifeblood of the government, without which the government cannot survive. Isipin mo na lang ang gobyerno para si Dracula. Na hindi mabubuhay. Life blood theory. Sa akin yan dapat well, without blood, Dracula cannot survive. Dracula will die. Sir, wag naman gawin nating Dracula ang gobyerno. Sinisip ang ating dugo. Shit! Isipin nyo si Sir Valladolid nyo. Dracula. Valladolid. Ang pangalan niya, Draco Valladolid. Hindi na Ulysses, Draco Valladolid. Kasama niya si Sir Gloria nyo. Draco Gloria. Si Gloria, no? Sir Gloria nyo. Mukhang Dracula na siya. So anyway, class. So what is really the purpose of taxation? That's why taxation class, look at the definition of taxation. Tingnan nyo. Taxation. It is an inherent power because it is automatic. As I told you a while ago, it is automatic of a sovereign state. Only a sovereign state can collect taxation. Kaya yung tinatawag nilang people's tax ng New People's Army is wrong. There's no such thing as people's tax. Because you only tax is paid to a sovereign state only. With due respect to our brothers and sisters in the mountains, the NPAs. Although may karapatan sila, pero of course, may limit ang lahat ng karapatan kasi meron tayong law. Wala tayong magagawa kasi meron talaga tayong tinatawag na dura. Dura lex, sed lex. The law may be harsh, but that is the law. Kung minsan may kung talagang ayaw mo ang batas at talagang ayaw na ayaw mo, pilitin mo mag-aral ng gusto, sumikat ka at tumakbo ka sa Congress. Because when you are a congressman, you are one of the lawmakers, you can pass a law repealing that law or changing that law or improving that law na ayaw mo. See, but in the meantime, wala kang magagawa kundi obey the law. Okay, sovereign state, inherent power of a sovereign state exercised through its legislature. See? Ibig sabihin, care of Congress. Sir, hindi ba BIR? No. Congress, gawa muna ng law. There must be a tax law first. Then, BIR can collect later. Ayan. So, BIR or Bureau of Customs can collect later. Pero may tax law muna na gagawin ng Congress. Hindi pwedeng diretsyo na lang mangungulekta ang BIR. No. Kaya nga, by the legislature. Kita no, don't you notice, class, ang ating tax code pa bago-bago, pati BIR nalilito na rin. Kasi every new president may panibago na naman na batas. Kasi every new president may bago na naman na legislature. Bago na naman ang Congress. Kung ano yung gusto nila na tax law, yun ang nasusunod. Kaya ang Pilipinas ang one of the most unstable pagdating sa tax law. Almost every president knew tax law. Unlike in other countries. See? Kasi pag sa tingin nila ang isang law nila sa tax ay maganda, ay hindi na nila pinapalitan. Kahit na may nasasagasaan ng mga negosyante. Kasi ang pinakauna dapat titingnan ay yung gobyerno at taong bayan. Legislature to impose a proportionate burden. Si tax are proportionate burden upon PPRT. Yan ang subject matter ng tax. Bakit prut? Kasi persons, property, rights or transactions. Persons, property, rights or transactions. Yan ang subject matter ng tax. At yung pinaka-purpose niya, yun yung dalawa. Ito yun. Yun ang purpose niya. To raise revenue for government expenses and to promote the economic as well as general welfare of the people or of the state. Okay, so yan ang tax. Itong raise revenue na to, yan ang primary purpose ng tax. Itong to promote the economic welfare of the people, yan ang secondary purpose of the tax. The primary purpose is known as the fiscal purpose or revenue purpose. Itong secondary purpose, yan yung they call it sumptuary. Basta any other purpose aside from the primary purpose is secondary purpose kasi dalawa lang ang purpose niya. Primary and secondary. To raise revenue for these government expenses. Siyempre, maraming expenses ang government. Lalo na yung number one dyan, salaries and wages of the honest as well as with due respect to them. As well as the corrupt government officials. Hindi naman lahat corrupt. Marami lang. Yan. Kaya nadadamay na rin yung mga honest na employees. Kasi yung mga honest na employees nagiging corrupt na rin. Kasi pag nakikita nila yung boss nila corrupt, kaya nga tayo merong anti-red tape. Kasi ang red tape class, pinapatagal ang mabilis na transaction. Pinapatagal para mapilitan kang maglagay. Yan ang red tape. Hindi tape na red. Ito, red tape. Hindi ibig sabihin tape na red. It is a corrupt action na yung simpleng government transaction pinapatagal para lang mapilitan maglagay ang tao. Kaya meron tayong anti-red tape law. Yun. Kaya yung mga simple transaction, dapat 3 days lang. Hihingi ka ng birth certificate. Hihingi ka ng birth certificate mo. 3 days yan. Pag hindi inaction ng 3 days, isumbong mo sa Malacanang. Kasi hindi yan kailangan matagal. Matagal ba? Humihingi po ako ng 3 days. Sige. After 3 days, bumalik ka. Hindi pa rin naayos. Bakit? Iniisip pa ho namin. Ano? Birth certificate ko lang, iniisip niyo pa ho? Bakit ba? Mukha ba akong alien? Nandyan lang yan sa record. Yun yung class. Kasi para mapilitan ka maglagay. Yun. Red tape yun. At any rate, yan. Taxes are proportionate burden. Why taxes are proportionate burden? Because normally, as the amount increase, the tax will also increase. As the taxable amount will decrease, the tax will also decrease. So proportionate burden siya. Proportionate burden. PPRT, sinabi ko na sa inyo kanina, pagka-impose on person, you call it personal tax. Property tax, katulad ng mga amilyar. Rights and transaction, income tax are tax on rights. Transaction, value-added tax is a tax on a transaction. And again, ito yung dalawang purposes ng taxation. The primary purpose, which is to raise revenue for government expenses, and as a tool for economic or general welfare of the people. The secondary purpose of taxation. Kaya kita mo ang customs. Bakit pag nag-import ka ng mga mamahaling sasakyan na sobrang lakas kumain ng gasolina, ang taas ng tax? Kasi nga, to protect. To protect our economy. Kasi itong mga sasakyan na ito na pumapasok, plus, ang lalakas kumain ng gasolina. They are not helpful to the economy. See? Bakit pag nag-import ka ng sigarilyo, ang laki ng tax? Kasi nga, see, cigarettes are not good for our health. Kaya nga, certain dangerous substance, basta hindi, pag illegal talaga, hindi pwede. Hindi itatax yan. Pero yung hindi naman illegal, pero medyo dangerous, dapat nga, wala tayong sigarilyo. Pero syempre, freedom yan eh. Although kita nyo ngayon, pag bumili ka ng sigarilyo, parang nagbigay ka ng consent na kahit mamatay ka, okay lang. Nakalagay doon. Dangerous to your health can result to fatal illness. Nakalagay mismo sa sigarilyo. Nakalagay pa doon yung picture ng mga tao may cancer. Pero yung iba, hindi pinapansin yan. Basta masarap manigarilyo, bibili ako. Mataas ang tax sa mga cigarettes. Sa mga liquors, mga wines, mga imported wines, ang tataas ng tax niyan. Kasi nga, to discourage you from bringing. At kung meron man bibili, konting-konti lang makakabili kasi mataas ang presyo. See? Kasi nga, pag maraming taong may sakit, problema din ng gobyerno class. Sir, bakit? Syempre, kung mahirap yan, dinala mo sa government hospital. See, who will pay the expenses? It is the government. Pag mahirap yan, hindi naman makaka-afford yan sa mga private hospitals. Very few can afford. Only the rich. Or those who have financial capacity. So yan ang taxation as well as the purpose. To raise revenue for government expenses, which is the primary purpose, and for the welfare of the people. Now, Pagdating sa characteristics, mag-ingat kayo, class. Because it is one of the favorite source of question in the exam. So, ano ba ang characteristic of the power to tax? So, pag sinabing characteristics, tatlo yan. The power to tax. Characteristics of the power to tax or what they call taxing power. At tatlo yan. ILL. So, yan ang first na characteristic na pwedeng itanong, ha? Oh. Question about, yan, ha? About characteristics. O, pag ang itinanong characteristics of the power to tax or taxing power, yan ang sagot mo. It is an inherent power. Pinaliwanag ko na kanina because with or without the Constitution, nandyan ang power to tax. And it is subject to, it is legislative in character. In character kasi nga, care of Congress ang pinanggagalingan ng power ng tax law. And it is subject to L. It is subject to limitations. One of the favorite source of question. Kailangan may limit siya kasi pag hindi mo nilimit, pwede siyang maabuso ng gobyerno naman. See? So, limitations, dalawa. The inherent limitations and the constitutional limitations. Favorite source yan sa exam, itong limitations na to. Kasi ito lang ang can limit the OZAM power of Congress to tax. Matindi ang power ng Congress, class. Kasi ang power ng Congress ay caps. It is, siyempre Congress representing the state. It is comprehensive. It is unlimited. It is plenary. And it is supreme. Plenary, almost absolute. Comprehensive siya as a rule. Except, the only exception, class, is yan ang exception. Yan lang ang pwedeng mag-limit sa awesome power of tax, which includes the power! Power to destroy. Oh, di ba? Again, as a rule. Pag tinanong sa'yo sa board exam, the power to tax includes the power to destroy as a rule. True. But not absolute, ha? But not absolute. Or not all the time. No. Pag sinabing the power to tax includes the power to destroy all the time, false. Kasi meron tayong inherent and constitutional limitation. Sir, bakit ba the power to tax includes the power to destroy? Syempre, class, you impose a very high tax on a particular business or activity, it will die. Malulugi ang negosyo O income tax na lang, corporate income tax, gawin mong 75%. Lahat ng corporation na yan mamamatay. Magsasara yan. Ano? Nabubuhay na lang kami para sa gobyerno. Ang aming taxable net income, tatax nyo ng 75%. Sobra na yan. Magsara na lang kami. Yung iba, lilipat na lang ako sa ibang bansa. Doon na lang kami magtayo ng negosyo. At least doon, medyo mababa pa. 25% lang, 30% lang. See, class? So, kailangan may limitation. Legislative in character, kasi Congress lang ang pinanggagalingan. Pwedeng legislative, by the way, pwedeng legislative. Generally, tama yan. Essentially, tama yan. Pero pag sinabing legislative, absolutely false. Kasi sa history ng Pilipinas, Meron pa ring moments in time na taxation was not legislative. Sir, talaga? Yes, class. During martial law time. During martial law, nung tinanggal ni President Marcos ang Congress noon, ang Malacanang ang gumagawa ng tax law. Kaya noong panahon ni President Marcos, merong mga PDs, Presidential Decree. At panahon ni Cory, nung matanggal si President Marcos at nagkaroon ng Cory Revolution, yung EDSA Revolution, akala nyo ba yung EDSA Revolution magkaiba kay President Marcos? Pareho lang sila, class. Hindi lang nila tinawag na martial law, pero revolutionary law. The revolutionary government of President Cory Aquino. Kaya noong panahon niya, nag-issue naman siya ng EOS. Yan ang kapalit ng PD. Pareho lang yan sila. Executive order. Pangit pa nga eh. Mas pangit pa yung batas na ipinasa ni Cory. Example class ha? Yan. What is Executive Order 273? Imposed in 1988. Yan ang isa sa pinakapangit na tax law natin. Yan ang value-added tax na nagpahirap sa mga Pilipino. See? VAT. Dati ang tax nating class, 3% only. Yan ang ating sales tax. Yan ang binabayaran natin every time papasok ka sa Jollibee, kung may Jollibee na noon, kung may McDonald's na noon, kung may KFC na noon, yan lang ang binabayaran natin. Ngayon, eto ang binabayaran natin. Yan ang binabayaran natin na tax. Na dapat ang magbayad ay yung mga businessman, KFC, McDo, etc. But included in our purchase price. So we pay 12%. You see? Because of this. The original VAT was 10%. Ngayon, in-increase pa nila 12%. See? Kaya nga with due respect sa Finance Secretary natin, si Jokno, hindi ako believe sa kanya. Sana makarating sa kanya, pero with due respect sa kanya. Kasi siya yung nag-suggest na ang VAT gawing 15%. Kako itong taong ito, walang pagmamahal sa kapwa Pilipino. Sipin mo, 15%, ibig sabihin, pag bumili ka ng pagkain na worth 100, because of the new VAT na 12%, magbabayad ka 112 pesos. Because it is included in the purchase price. It becomes part of the purchase price that you pay from your pocket. Lalo na, 15. Di yung 112, magiging 150 na. Isipin mo, yan 3 piso na yan, hindi mo pinapansin, pero kung araw-araw mo ginagastos yan. Yan ha? Paano kung everyday kumakain kayo ng worth 1,000 sa pamilya niyo? What is 15% of 1,000? 150. Sir, but that is contribution to the nation. Anong contribution to the nation? Dapat payment yung class nang nagbabayad yung seller. Kaso lang yung seller ipinapasa sa buyer. What is fairness there? Sales tax yan eh. As a rule, sino nagbabayad ng sales tax? Si seller, kaya nga sales tax eh. Hindi siya tinatawag na buyer's tax. But what does? Dahil itong mga seller natin ay mga bilyonaryo. Kontrolado nila yung mga walang hiya, walang pusong mga abogado. Isasuggest nila ngayon sa Congress na ang magbabayad ng sales tax ay ang kawawang Pilipino na bumibili. May magagawa ba tayo? Wala. Bayad lang tayo. See? Kasi hindi natin pinapansin, pero isipin mo. Isipin mo mula nung kumakain ka na. Class ha? Ikaw, mula nung kumakain ka sa McDo, Jollibee, KFC, etc. Ilan na 12% ang nabayaran mo? See? Baka 1,000 na. And look, you are just a student. You are not yet earning. See? Okay. Wag na natin pag-usapan dahil baka tumaas ang ating presyon sa inis. Kasi ang Pilipinas class, isa sa pinakapangitan taxation system with due respect to our to our government leaders. Kaya ito importanteng topic. Itong limitations na to. So, what are these limitations? Na yan lang ang magse-save daw sa atin. Well, although pwede kong balikan yan mamaya, ha? Babalikan na lang natin yung limitations mamaya. Yung second naman na characteristic. ay characteristics of a sound tax system. Basta mamaya, babalikan ko to, ha? Ano ang characteristics of a sound tax system, also known as canons of taxation, also called basic guidelines, or characteristics. Some call it basic characteristics of taxation system. And this is your keyword. FATC. Fiscal adequacy, administrative feasibility and compliance, theoretical justice or equality in taxation, and sa mga international tax law books, ito yung pang-apat. Sa Pilipinas, hindi mo masyado makita sa mga local authors. But if you look at the international authors, consistency with economic goals. Okay, class. So when you say fiscal adequacy, from the word fiscal, referring to government money, adequacy, adequate. Ibig sabihin, yung ating budget ay hindi nagkakaroon ng deficit. You see, that is the meaning of that. That the budget taxes collected are enough for the government expenses. So hindi nagkakaroon ng deficit. Pero bakit may deficit tayo lagi? Because of graft and corruption. Incompetent government officials na kaya in-appoint, hindi dahil sa qualified siya, kundi dahil ninong niya si ganito, at yung iba, mas masakit. Hindi qualified, pero naglagay, binili yung pwesto. Yun ang masakit, class. Kasi hanggang ngayon sa gobyerno natin, mas tumindi pa nga daw eh. Kailangan kakilala mo. May kakilala ka sa opisina na yon. At hindi lang, kung ang pwesto mo mataas, dapat maglagay ka. Bilhin mo yung pwesto. Ayun na. Kaya ito, wala tayo niyan. Fiscal adequacy, as a characteristic of a sound tax system, strictly wala tayo niyan. Meron tayo niyan in theory lang. Ano naman ang administrative feasibility and compliance? Ibig sabihin daw niyan, ang ating tax laws ay easy to understand, easy to implement, and easy to follow. At easy to follow, dapat no tax evasion. Sa Pilipinas, favorite ang tax evasion. The non-payment of tax through fraudulent means. Example, you understated income. Deliberate understated income to reduce the income tax due. That is tax evasion. O kaya overstated expenses. That is tax evasion. As distinguished from tax avoidance. Iba yung tax avoidance. Ang tax avoidance class is lawful. Yung example, you maximize deductions based on the tax code. Tax avoidance yan. Ayaw mo magbayad ng tax, di wag kang gumawa ng stock corporation. Gumawa ka ng non-stock corporation dahil tax exempt yan. That is tax avoidance. Of course, may mga limitations, pero at least that is a form of tax avoidance. You put up a foundation. See? Ito yung ginagawa ng mga magagaling na CPA at saka mga magagaling na lawyers. Tax avoidance. Kasi kahit na may kakilala ka sa BIR, ay kailangan pa rin class within the limits of law ang gagawin mo. Hindi po pwedeng kahit na illegal, aprobahan nila sa BIR yan. Pag tax evasion yan, hindi pwedeng aprobahan ng BIR yan because that is illegal. Okay. So, strictly speaking, dahil uso pa rin ang tax evasion sa Pilipinas, itong administrative feasibility and compliance, questionable. Pareho din sa fiscal adequacy. Questionable yan sa ating system. Number 3, theoretical justice or equality. Anong ibig sabihin yan? Theoretical justice or equality. Purahin ko muna to. Equality in taxation. It means the poor, ayan the rich muna should pay more taxes. And the poor should pay even more. Gulo yan pag gano'n. So no, that's wrong. Should pay less. Or kung pwede, none at all. So, pag in-extend mo itong equality in taxation or theoretical justice, dapat niyan, tayo sa Pilipinas, we avoid indirect taxes. Katulad ng value-added tax. Dahil ang indirect tax, yan ang pahirap sa mga Pilipino. Indirect tax like business taxes should be paid by the businessman. But in Philippines, the indirect taxes are paid by the poor consumer by incorporating them in the purchase price. And we cannot do anything. See? Except to pay. Para bang kung ayaw mo, di wag kang kumain sa Jollibee. Wag kang kumain sa McDo. Wag kang kumain sa KFC. Gutom ka na eh. See? Gutom ka na. Nakikita mo doon yung iba na walang kamalay-malay. Bayad na lang ng bayad. Di ngayon, ang gagawin mo. Sabi ko ni Sir Mahmoud, indirect tax to. Ayoko. Kaso lang gutom na ako. So wala ka na magagawa. Magbayad ka na. Kasi hindi naman pwedeng sabihin ng hindi naman sinasabi ng KFC na, oy, pinipilit ka namin. Hindi. Sasabihin ng KFC, that's our policy. Kung bibili ka sa amin, kasama sa babayaran mo yung indirect tax. Sorry. We avoid indirect taxes. But we have indirect taxes here in Philippines. So questionable. Yung pangatlo, questionable na naman. And consistency with economic goals, ibig sabihin yan, our tax laws should conform with the economic goals of the state. That is the meaning of consistency with economic goals. So, okay? First characteristic, second, third characteristics. Pangatlo na characteristic na pwedeng itanong. Third, na about characteristics also. Pwede kang tanongin characteristics of taxes. At ito isa sa pinakamarami rin na tinatanong. Ito ang mga triple star, yung limitations sa ito. Also known as essential elements. Some call it requisites of taxes. At ang taxes ay divided into, ayan, also known as, also called primary characteristics. At yan ang keyword mo. E.g., PLT. Eggplant. Number 1. It is an enforced. It is an enforced contribution. It is generally payable in money. It is a proportionate burden. It is for public purpose. It is levied by the legislature, and it is levied within the territory of the state. Yan ang, they are called the essential elements or requisites of a tax. Eggplant, ang talong. Ang talong. So when you say enforced contribution, look at the word enforced. Because taxes are obligatory, or what you call mandatory. Taxpayer must pay. Otherwise, pwede siyang mabilanggo due to tax evasion. Or he will pay more taxes because of penalty and interest. You see? Kung walang tax evasion, hindi siya mabibilanggo. Pero magbabayad lang siya ng maraming penalty at interest. At pwedeng kunin ng gobyerno ang kanyang ari-arian. Ibebenta in public auction to pay the tax. You see? So taxes are mandatory. They are obligatory. Hindi siya katulad ng ibang contribution na pwedeng bayaran, pwedeng hindi. Ito hindi. You must pay. The taxpayer must pay. Otherwise, pwede siyang mabilanggo. Kung mapapatunayan ng BIR na ang hindi niya pagbayad ay done illegally or fraudulently, amounting to what you call tax evasion. Or kung wala man, plus. Yan, plus, he will pay more taxes because of penalty and interest. Number 2, generally payable in money. See? So, hindi po pwedeng bayaran in kind ang tax as a rule. As a rule. Kasi pag wala na talagang pambayad yung tao, para na ring in kind. Kasi kukunin ng gobyerno yung property niya, pero hindi automatic. Pag kinuha ng gobyerno ang property niya, ibebenta ngayon in public auction. See? Pagkakulang, maghahanap pa ng ibang property ang gobyerno. So, hindi automatic. Hindi siya katulad ng dasyon and pago na kung may utang ako sa iyo 1 million at binigay ko sa iyo itong kotse ko, automatic wala na akong utang. Hindi dasyon and pago ang tax. Tax is not dasyon and pago. Kaya nga generally payable in money. Hanggat maaari, pera. Pera here means peso, not dollars. I-convert mo muna sa peso yung dollars mo. Kasi yun ang legal tender. But you see the word generally. Kaya pag ginamit na word absolutely, false is your answer. Number 3, proportionate burden. Pinaliwanag ko na sa inyo because as the taxable amount increases, the tax will also increase. As the taxable amount decrease, the tax will also decrease. Number 4, for public purpose. Yes. Para lang sa gobyerno. For public purpose siya. Pag sinabi mong public purpose, the tax collected from you by BIR or by the state must be spent for government expenses, government projects. Hindi po pwedeng specific na person lang ang makikinabang. See? Because that would be graft and corruption. Levied by the legislature. Pinaliwanag ko na. Legislature here is the Congress. And levied within the territory of the state. Kasi yung tax natin hindi pwedeng applicable sa Amerika. Sir, paano yung, bakit ko si Manny Pacquiao, sir, tinataksa natin? Oh. See? Naroon natin tinataksan si Manny Pacquiao. Abroad yun. Dito natin sa siningil. Pero kung halimbawa, si Manny Pacquiao, tumakas sa Pilipinas, ayaw umuwi, doon lang sa Amerika. Hahabulin natin para kunin natin siya doon, magpapaalam tayo sa US. You see? Makikipag-coordinate tayo sa US. Hindi po pwedeng sasabihin na, yan tax evader yan, tumakas sa inyo. Amin na. Whether you like it or not. Wala tayong magagawa kasi ang tax natin nag-ooperate lang sa teritoryo natin. If outside the Philippines, makikipag-usap tayo. See? At ipapakita natin doon sa bansa na yon na within our laws, itong ginagawa natin. See? Kaya halimbawa, pagdating doon, si Manny Pacquiao, nag-change na ng citizenship. Mahihirapan na tayo. Dahil pag hinabol natin sa Amerika, sasabihin ngayon ni Manny Pacquiao, I'm no longer a Filipino citizen. Poprotektahan na siya ng US. May utang sa government sasabihin ng US, that was before. Now, no more. Siguro kung may extra money siya, sasabihan ng US. If you have extra money, you pay. But if you don't have extra money, bubulungan siya. You pay fast. You pay us first. Within our territory lang nag-apply class ang taxes. Pag nag-apply yan abroad, ang tawag dyan extraterritoriality rule. If you are a resident citizen, your income outside the Philippines pwedeng habulin ng government. Although nakikipag-coordinate tayo sa other countries. Yan ang purpose ng mga embassy natin abroad. Yung mga diplomatic mga diplomatic relationships abroad natin because of our citizens there na hinahabol natin sa taxation also. Sir, hindi mo ba mga OFWs ay tax exempt? Yes, if you are OFW. Pero if you are not an OFW, pag sinabing OFW, wala kang income na kinikita kundi abroad. At kahit na OFW ka, ang exempt lang yung income mo abroad. Yung income mo sa Philippines, halimbawa, OFW ka, pero may income ka naman sa Pilipinas, may tindahan ka dito, tataksan pa rin ng Philippine government yung tindahan mo dito. Ang exempt lang ay yung income mo abroad. Kasi para bang, parang bonus sa'yo ng gobyerno o regalo ng gobyerno na nakakatulong ka sa pagdala ng dollars in the Philippines. Kaya ang OFW to be exempt, yung remittance niya class through Philippine banking system. Okay? O yan ang third Ano yung pang-apat na characteristics bago natin balikan si limitations? Puro mga ito nasa handouts niyo. Itong pang-apat wala sa handout niyo. Indirect lang. Fourth ay characteristics of our tax laws. Ano ba ang characteristic ng ating tax laws? Number one, ang ating tax laws ay civil in nature, not penal, although it provides penalty. Civil because enforceable in courts. It's a civil obligation. Pwede mong singilin. Pwedeng singilin ng BIR ang iyong tax by filing a case in the court. Really, sir? Yes. Number two, it is prospective in application. Ibig sabihin, ang tax natin, present and future. Hindi siya retroactive. Hindi siya lumilingon sa nakaraan. Ngayon at saka present and future ang kanyang focus. So halimbawa, ngayon 2023, merong new income tax rate for corporations. Nakalagay, the new tax rate is 15% only. Paano ngayon yung income 2022? Yung taxable net income ng corporation. Kung ano yung rate that time. Kung ano yung rate that year, yun na mag-a-apply. That year, kung is 25%, 25% will apply. Itong 15%, present and future. 2023 and beyond. It cannot be retroactive. You see? Hindi mo pwede sabihin, magre-recompute ako kasi last year nagbayad ako ng 25%, 15%, may difference sa 10%. Sisingilin ko sa gobyerno. No. Or, tumaas siya. Naging 45%. Hindi rin pwede sabihin ng gobyerno, pati yung last year, retroactive as a rule. Hindi retroactive ang ating tax law. Hindi retroactive hanggat maaari. At saka pag nag-retroactive yung class, para lang hindi bungi yung amount. Halimbawa, middle of the year nila ipinasa, sasabihin nila retroactive starting the beginning of the year. Yun lang. Pero bihira yung starting last year, gulo yung class. So sa rule, our taxes are prospective in application unless otherwise the law provides to be retroactive. Pero pag nag-retroactive, normally beginning of the year. Normally, kasi yun ang medyo malapit sa common sense. Pero yung last year, gulo yung class. And our tax laws are interpreted liberally. Yun yung pangatlo. Interpreted, pag merong doubt, in case of doubt, in favor sa taxpayer ang pag-interpret, except deductions. Deductions and exemptions. Basta ang pinag-usapan exemption at saka deduction versus the taxpayer. Meaning against the taxpayer ang interpretation. So ano ibig sabihin versus the taxpayer? Ibig sabihin, BIR is very strict in granting you deductions or exemptions. Why very strict ang BIR? Common sense, ang deduction and exemption will reduce the government collection. So very strict ang government pag ikaw ay nag-claim ng deduction or pag ikaw ay nag-claim ng exemption. See? Pero kung ang pinag-uusapan ay whether taxable or not ka, at hindi naman klaro ang batas, walang magagawa ang BIR. Kasi sabi ng legal system natin in favor of the taxpayer. Kung ang pinag-uusapan ay whether taxable or not ka, at hindi klaro ang batas, therefore, kasalanan ng gobyerno. Ba't kayo gagawa-gawa ng batas na hindi klaro? Nakalagay nga sa obligations and contract, di ba? Legal obligations are not presumed. Tax is a legal obligation. So kung hindi klaro yan, in case of doubt, in favor of the taxpayer, not taxable siya. Pero, basta pag pinag-usapan deduction or exemption, at malabo din, this time, hindi in favor of the taxpayer, against the taxpayer. Reason, lifeblood theory. Okay? So that finishes the 4 Most common questions in the board exam pagdating sa characteristics. Excluding limitation, ha? Babalikan natin. So, tapos na natin yung apat, ha? Laging tinatanong sa board exam class yung apat na yan. Characteristics of the power to tax or taxing power. Characteristics of a sound tax system, also known as canons of taxation. Characteristics of taxes, also known as essential elements, and characteristics of tax laws. For a while, you may copy. Okay, class. So, balikan natin yung limitations, ha? Ito. Limitations. Isa sa pinaka-favorite na source of questions sa exam. So, power to tax. What are the limitations? So, limitations are inherent limitations and the constitutional limitations. So, inherent, not found in the 1987 Constitution. Ito found in the 1987 Constitution. Why is the 1987 Constitution important? Because this is the supreme law of the land, to which all other laws must comply. Any act, any law, even from Congress, that is contrary to the Constitution is void ab initio, meaning void from the very beginning. Kaya nga supreme law of the land. Kaya nga ang Constitution, sino ang nag-approve? Pagkagaling sa Congress, congressman lang ang nag-approve. Pero ang Constitution, ang nag-approve ay plebiscite. Tayo mga Pilipino ang nag-approve. Kaya mahirap baguhin ang Constitution. Kasi medyo magastos. Buong Pilipinas ang nag-approve. Kaya hindi mabago-bago. See? Pero talagang dapat baguhin. May mga provision sa kanya talaga na dapat baguhin. Hindi naman papalitan lahat pero siguro mga 20%, mga 10 to 20% class. Dapat baguhin. Katulad yan, yung bicameral at saka unique, yung bicameral na yan, hindi maganda sa bayan. So, what are the inherent muna? Inherent limitations. Keyword. Yung mga tagalasal, yan ang kanilang gamit. Penis ni D. Kaso lang, pag conservative ka, syempre, ayaw mo yan. Ito na lang, mas maganda pa ito, spined. Spiny D. Spiny D. Spiny digong. Ang spiny digong ay mahina na. Kasi matanda na siya. At any rate, anong gusto nyo? Bahala kayo dyan. Ito na lang sundan natin. Spiny D or penis ni D? Huwag na lang natin sundin yung penis ni D. Pangit. Spiny D na lang. Number 1, Citos of taxation. Also known as territoriality rule. Yan, Pero kung gusto mo yung penis ni D, okay lang. It's up to you. Ibig sabihin yan, our tax laws can operate within the territory of the state only. See? Ibig sabihin, a tax imposed outside the citos is invalid. Example, VAT. Ang citos ng VAT ay Philippines only. Kaya outside Philippines, VAT is illegal. See? Really, sir? Yes. Hindi katulad ng income tax. Ang income tax, pwede kanyang habulin abroad if you are a resident citizen. Kita niyo si Manny Pacquiao? Yung panalo niya sa boxing abroad, hinabol ng Pilipinas. Kasi ang income tax, pwede kanyang habulin abroad. Pero may mga tax na ang citos niya ay Pilipinas lang. Katulad ng mga business taxes, value-added tax, other percentage tax. excise taxes on certain goods. You will learn that in due time, na sila ay pang Pilipinas lang. Outside Philippines, they are void. Yan ang Citos of Taxation Rule, which is territoriality rule. An inherent limitation. O itong pinakasikat number 2. Public purpose rule. Ayan public purpose. A tax can be spent for, or taxes must be spent for, public purpose only. So ang tanong dyan, diba? Sinagutan na natin yan kanina. When is a tax imposed for public purpose? When it is spent for government. When it is spent for government expenses. Pasok siya sa tax public purpose rule. Tax daw, taxes are spent for public purpose. Government expenses or government projects. So, kung halimbawa, calamity-stricken area yan, at ang pamilya ni Mang Jose binigyan ng gobyerno, hindi yon private. Kasi kasama siya sa tinatawag na government project to save Filipinos na victims of calamity-stricken areas. Government projects or programs. Yan, outside of that, tax cannot be spent. Number 3. Number 3 is what you call international committee rule. What is international committee rule? Tulat na nga ako na libro sa tax. Uli. Ibig sabihin, our tax laws don't apply to properties of foreign governments. No. Foreign government properties or transactions in Philippines. Kasi ang kwan yan parang respeto yan Example, yung mga foreign embassy, tinataksan ba natin? No. See? In the same manner as yung properties ng Pilipinas abroad, mga embassy natin, hindi rin tinataksan ng corresponding countries doon. So ito yung respect of one nation to another nation. Mga members of United Nations. Hindi katulad nung class, matindi. Di ba no? Nagbabayad ang Pilipinas ng taxes sa Spain. Ganong class noon. Pag hindi ka nagbayad ng tax sa more superior country, i-invade ka nila. At gagawin nilang slave ang mga citizens mo. Kaya magbabayad ka ng protection money. And this protection money are in essence tax. Although ang tawag nila doon ay, yan ang tawag nila noon. See, yan ang tawag nila. They call it in the ancient days tribute. So what Philippines used to pay to Spain once upon a time, noong panahon pa ni Crisostomo Ibarra at ni Maria Clara at ang best friend nilang si Padre Damaso. Tribute. Yun, paid by a lesser country to a more superior country. Pero mula nung magkaroon na ng UN, malaking bagay din ng United Nations. Mula nung magkaroon ng United Nations, all countries are equal. See? Kahit na ganito kalaki ang Amerika, at napakaliit lang ang Pilipinas, hindi pwedeng taksa ng Amerika ang Pilipinas. See? See? Ganito kalaki ang China. At ang Pilipinas, ito lang. See? China cannot tax Philippines. Pwede ibuli-buli nila tayo. Sa atin na yun kung magpambuli tayo. Pwede tayo lumaban kung gusto natin. Sabi natin, China, mano-mano na lang tayo, suntukan. Matatalo tayo kung suntukan dahil magagaling sila sa kung fu. Boxing, yun, may laman tayo ng konti. Matatalo pa rin tayo, class. Marami sila eh. Konti lang tayo. Billion sila eh. Tayo, 100 million lang tayo. Sila eh, billion. So for every one Filipino, ang kalaban niya 10 Chinese. Eh marunong pa sa martial arts. Wala tayo. Talo tayo. Saan natin matatalo ang mga Chinese? Sa inuman. Ayan, ha? Isang Pinoy na manginginom, kaya niya 100 na inchik talunin. Mga Pilipino, manginginom yan, ha? Okay, class. So, number 4. Nandito tayo sa spine, di ba? Nandito tayo sa spine. N. Ano yung N? Number 4, N. Non-delegation rule. It means Congress. Congress cannot delegate its power to tax unless Constitution allows it. Ayan, ha? So, ano yung mga instances na Constitution allows the delegation? Example, delegation to LGUs. Ang mga local government units, meron silang local taxes. Allowed by the Constitution yan. Or delegation to certain administrative bodies. Example, BIR, Bureau of Customs. Meron silang mga tax rulings. They can interpret tax laws. And they form part of the law of the land. So parang indirect delegation yan. Pero limited lang. Hindi nila pwedeng baguhin. Ang pwede lang magbago ay Congress. Kasi Congress ang may source. Original source. Congress cannot delegate its power unless the Constitution allows. Okay. Non-delegation rule, number 5. Exemption of government rule. Ibig sabihin, government agencies. Government niyan will not tax itself as a rule. Kasi bakit? Ba't mo tataksan ang sarili mo? Ikaw ang gumagastos, tapos tataksan mo. So parang lumipat lang yung pera sa kabilang kamay. O akin na yan. Taxable ka. Sabi na, akin na uli yan. Bakit? Gagastusin ko eh. Gago. O yan, nag-awa yung dalawang kamay. So government will not tax itself as a rule. But if you are asked, dahil Supreme Court decision yan, can the government tax itself? The Supreme Court, the Honorable Supreme Court said, yes, the government can tax itself. But, as a rule, it will not, because it's an exercise of stupidity. It's against common sense that you tax yourself. See? So our tax laws don't apply to, but, see? But, GOCCs are taxable now. Ayan, ha? Hindi katulad noon, nakasama ang GOCCs. Ngayon, hindi. Ang mga government-owned and controlled corporations are now taxable except lang SSS, GSIS, PCSO, PHIC, and PHIC. Social Security System, government insurance yan eh. Philippine Charity Sweepstakes, at saka Philippine Health Insurance Corporation. Nandiyan yung... pero yung mga dating tax-exempt class, katulad ng NAPOCOR, PAGCOR, taxable sila ngayon. But, pero yung mga government agencies, mga direct government agencies class, yung mga bureaus, departments na performing, ang reason kasi class, bakit GOCCs are taxable? Because they can operate. They can also operate for profit. Unlike other government agencies. Other government agencies, yung mga performing direct governmental function, they cannot operate for profit. but the government-owned and controlled corporations can operate for profit. That's why tama lang, they are taxable, with the exception of the following. SSS, GSIS, PCSO, PHIC. Sa income tax yan, ha? And number 6, dalawa yung S, ha? A D. Number 6 is double taxation rule. Actually, ang double taxation class is when you tax twice the same subject matter, the same taxing authority, the same purpose within the same taxable year. Pag nagsama-sama yung apat na yan, it is called direct double taxation and it is not allowed by the Constitution because it is too burdensome. When a tax is too burdensome, it is contrary to the Constitution. So, ang double taxation class, actually dalawa. There are two kinds. Direct double T, yan yon, which is a constitutional limitation, strictly speaking, and indirect double T, which is an inherent limitation. This is an inherent limitation because hanggat maaari daw, it should be avoided. The losses, it should be avoided, but not illegal. But not illegal, unlike direct double T. Anong direct double T? Example, direct double T. Si A, yung kanyang income. Yung kanyang income. Sinabject na sa income tax. Yung kanyang income from interest sa DTI, sinabject na sa income tax na 20%. Plus, sinabject pa sa income tax based on the tax table na 0 to 35%. Itong 20% final tax. Sobra na yan. That is already direct double taxation. Dahil parehong income tax yan. Ito income tax national. Ito income tax national also. That is, this is DDT. This is direct double taxation. That is not fair. But, yan, example yan. Ito. Si A, yung kanyang income, income from his grocery, sinabject sa income tax. Sinabject sa income tax ng BIR. At sinabject din sa value-added tax ng BIR. Hindi ba double taxation yan? The answer is no. Sir, bakit? They are not the same subject matter. The subject matter of income tax is on the net, the privilege to earn. That's why it is based on taxable net income after deduction. That's why income tax is based on the net. Whereas VAT is based on the gross. VAT is not on the privilege to earn income. It is on the transaction. They are not the same subject matter. You see class 4. Another one, amusement tax. Si A, meron siyang cockpit. Alam niyo yung cockpit? Sabungan. Sinabject na siya ng amusement tax ng BIR. Sinabject pa siya sa amusement tax ng let's say, ng Manila City Hall. That is only indirect double taxation. Why? BIR is national. Manila City Hall is local. They are not the same taxing authority. One is national, one is local. See? Para maging direct double taxation, yung apat na yan ay present. Katulad yung kanina. Income tax, BIR yan. Privilege to earn.
taxing authority, same purpose, same taxable year. Tapos, isinama mo sa tax table. Yun din naman yun. Ikaw din yun. The same BIR. The same purpose, ang tinaksan mo yung income at the same taxable year. Direct yan. Walang justification yan. Sobra na yan. Ayaw ng Constitution yan. That is already burdensome. So, strictly speaking, class, ang double taxation depende sa klase. Kung direct double taxation, strictly that falls under constitutional limitation. Pagka indirect, actually, class, indirect double taxation, therefore, is allowed in Philippines. It is allowed. Pero kung po pwede, dapat daw iwasan. It is allowed. You see, that is allowed. But should be avoided. But not illegal. You see? So that finishes spine. Spiny D. Ayaw mo ng spiny D, penis ni D. Okay, so let's discuss what are the constitutional limitations naman briefly. Sa College of Law class, itong inherent at constitutional, alam nyo, isang semester. Bakit? Kasi class 30% ng questions sa board exam galing sa limitations. Kung minsan, hanggang 50% pa eh. Kasi laging tanong sa bar exam, ang tanong, is the tax valid or invalid? Para valid or invalid siya, yun lang ang basis mo. Yung inherent and constitutional limitations. So what are the constitutional limitations? Mas madaling tandaan ang constitutional limitations. Yan ang keyword mo. Nude CCB. N to the fourth power. E to the second power. Nude si Conrado Balix. Nude si Conrado Balix. So, yan. Unang yan. Non-imprisonment rule. The non-imprisonment rule is for all tax class. Hindi ka pwedeng ikulong dahil hindi ka nakapagbayad ng all tax, also known as community tax, also known as residence tax, also known as capitation tax, also known as personal tax, o yung tinatawag nila na cedula. See? Ibang tax pwede kang ikulong, pero wag lang for tax. Sir, bakit? Dahil yan ay 5 piso lang. Yan ang basic poll tax. 5 pesos. Sapat ba para ikulong ang isang tao dahil hindi lang siya nakapagbayad ng 5 piso? Tama ba yun? Kung sana kung kriminal ka. So ayaw ng gobyerno. Ang rule, every Filipino na 18 years old and above dapat magbayad na ng poll tax. Pag may trabaho siya. Pag walang trabaho, hindi rin. Oh, may trabaho ka. 18 and above ka, pero hindi ka nakapagbayad ng poll tax. Okay, kukulong ka ba ng gobyerno? Tama ba yun? Dahil lang dyan? Ay, pag ikinulong ang isang tao, makakainin ng gobyerno 3 beses isang araw sa kulungan. Oh, hindi lugi pa ang gobyerno sa kanya. See? Yung mga kriminal, tama lang na ikulong yan because they discourage and drive away tourists and investors. Eh, yung tao Pilipino na hindi lang nakapagbayad ng 5 piso. Tama ba yun? Isa lang foreigner ba, kailangan di magbayad? Pagka transient ka lang, not more than 30 days tourist ka lang, mandato actually, you are not required. Although hindi strict ang gobyerno sa mga foreigners pagdating sa poll tax. But we can discuss it as a separate topic. Yan yung tinatawag nila sa local taxes. Kasi local tax ito eh. Pero gano'n pa man, hindi ka pwedeng ikulong ng gobyerno. Another end, the separation of church and state. Non-appropriation rule. Mag-partner yan sila. And non-infringement rule. Okay. Yan na, pareho yan silang class. The separation of church and state. Hindi pwedeng i-benefit ibig sabihin, yung tax class, hindi pwedeng ibigay sa isang religion. Ito naman, basta any religious activity act is tax exempt. You cannot infringe. Basta religious activity yan, tax exempt. Kahit na kumikita pa ng income yan. Kasi secondary lang yung income. Example, sir. Example. Selling of Bibles or religious items, mga souvenirs by a church. Hindi pwedeng taksan yan. See? Basta yan lang binibenta nila, mga biblical materials or religious items, hindi pwedeng taksan ng biyaya. See? Because that is a religious activity. Eh sir, paano kung yung simbahan nagpatayo ng Jollibee? Tataksan ng gobyerno yan simbahan na yan pag nagtayo yan ng Jollibee. Unless yung Jollibee nila ibang klase. Bago ka pumasok sa Jollibee, kailangan magdasal ka muna 10 beses. Tapos ang mga french fries nila mukhang anghel, ang mga pies nila, mga angel, mga cross, religious activity yon. Saka hindi, kailangan ang pumasok doon, yung karelihiyon nila, part na religious activity yun. Pero alam mo naman na nature ng Jollibee. It's proprietary. It's not religious. Pero yung church, nagbenta lang ng mga biblicalist, mga religious books, religious scriptures. It's not taxable. Okay. Then, the non-impairment rule. Dalawa klasang non-impairment rule. Supreme Court powers at saka non-impairment rule on obligation of contracts. Ano ibig sabihin ng Supreme Court powers? Ibig sabihin, Congress can pass a new law changing the powers of Supreme Court on tax cases. As the tax cases, hindi pwedeng pakialaman ng Congress. Nakalagay sa Constitution, pagdating sa taxation, the Supreme Court has the final say. At pwedeng sabihin ng Supreme Court na itong batas na to na ipinasa ng Congress ay void. Walang magawang Congress, kundi honor. See? Hindi pwede mag-pass ng Congress, hindi pwede mag-pass ng law ang Congress na when it comes to tax matters, the decision of BIR is final. Supreme Court cannot intervene. The law is void. Walang magagawang Congress because Constitution protects it. And remember the Constitution, the supreme law of the land. See? Congress can pass a new law, changing or limiting the powers of Supreme Court pagdating sa tax cases. Powers! Power! Sir, ano itong obligations of contract? A new tax law naman cannot change an existing contract. Ayan, glass, ha? Use the word existing. Pwedeng matapos yung contract na yan. Pwede, halimbawa. Dahil doon sa new tax law na yon, tumaas yung rent. Itinaas ang rent dahil tumaas ang tax. Hindi pwede. Unless agreed by the parties. Ano, nirerentahan mo yung building mo ng, let's say, nirerentahan mo ng 100,000 per month. But because there is a new tax law, gusto mo yun itaas ng 120,000 pesos per month. Kasi may new tax law. Hindi pwede. Hindi mo pwedeng pilitin yung lessee. Ay makiusap ka. Kung pumayag siya, okay, voluntary naman eh. Pero yung pipilitin, hindi ka na. Because that is impairing the obligations of contract by a new tax law. Pwede mo siguro taasan yung rent for other reason. Siyempre, mag-uusap kayo. Sasabihin mo, nakita mo naman, inayos ko na tong building. Ngayon, ang dami pumapasok dito sa building na to. Taasan ko naman ang rent. Kung hindi, kung ayaw mo, sige. Pag nag-expire to next year, hindi ko na i-renew. Ano? Kung kumikita ka naman, papayag ka. Pero voluntary on your part yun, hindi ka pwedeng pilitin because pag pinilit ka, that is violation of the impairment of the obligations of contracts. Ibig sabihin, a new tax law cannot change an existing contract obligation. Because remember, the contract create an obligation. Obligations of an existing contract. Diba? Contract, one of the sources of obligation. Non-impairment rule. So, yan si apat na N. Non-imprisonment rule, non-appropriation rule, non-infringement rule, at dalawang non-impairment rule. Non-impairment of the powers of Supreme Court and non-impairment of obligations of contracts. Okay. Theory talaga tayo. Ano naman yung U? Sige, may copy muna kung gusto. Punta na ako sa number 5. Number 5. Kapartner yan. For 1 plus. Ito mag-partner itong dalawang ito. U tsaka E. Pauli rates, para makita nyo. Uniformity. Uniformity of taxation rule at saka equality of taxation rule. Pag tinignan nyo sa ibang mga author, yung ibang libro, mga authors, they use the two terms interchangeably. They may be similar, but they are not the same. Malayo ang pagkakaiba nila. Ang uniformity of taxation class, nakafocus siya sa rates. If you belong daw to the same group, you should be taxed at the same rate. So nakafocus siya doon sa rate or amount of tax. Rate or amount of tax. Grouping. Doon siya nakafocus sa grouping. The same group kayo, same rate or same amount kayo. Nangyari yan sa Maynila. Lahat ng nakakotse sa Maynila na gumagamit sa kalsada ng Maynila may tax. Basta nakatira sa Maynila. Pag hindi nakatira, wala. So, noong umpisa, nagbabayad yung mga Pilipino. Pero later on, na-realize nila unfair. Ang sabi nila, hindi lang naman kami ang gumagamit ng kalsada ng Maynila. Bakit yung mga taga-probinsya? Ginagamit nga nila, nakatrack nga sila dahil ang mga gamit nila, truck, dahil nilalagyan nila ng mga farm products nila. Diretso sila sa palengke or merkado. And they earn millions of pesos, then they don't pay a single tax. Simply because they are not residing here in Manila. And they question that law hanggang umabot sa Supreme Court. Anong sabi ng Supreme Court? The tax law violated uniformity of taxation. Bakit? Sabi ng Supreme Court, lahat ng road users belong to the same group or the same class. Bakit taga Maynila lang ang tinataksan nyo? Paano yung hindi taga Maynila pero gumagamit din sa road na yan? The tax violated uniformity, which is a constitutional limitation. The local government tax of Manila is void ab initio. Lahat ng mga nagbayad were ordered to claim for a tax refund. The local government of Manila was ordered to pay, to return under the principle of payment by mistake, solutio indebiti. Siglas, and immediately stop from collecting. Ang equality of taxation naman, class, nakafocus siya sa ability to pay and benefits received. Ayan, dapat daw tax is based on your ability to pay or benefits received. Ibig sabihin, if you are rich, you pay more. And if you are poor, you pay less or none at all. See? So they are similar but not the same. Sa ibang mga authors, they use the two terms almost interchangeably. Malayo ang pagkakaiba ng dalawang yan. Malayo. See? Kung nabasa ka ng author na using the two terms o nilagay na they are synonymous, yung author na yun, hindi pa niya naintindihan yung sinusulat. Kasi sa panahon ngayong class, marami mga author na author-authoran lang. Naintindihan na ng konti yung subject, author na. Kasi ang daming madaling kopyahin. Ang dali kasi mag-download ngayong klase. Ang dali mag-download ng information sa internet. Kaya ang daming mga author. Mamimili kayo ng mga author. Okay. So, ano naman yung D? Okay, ha? D. Due process of law in taxation or due process of law rule. Due process of law requires that there is a valid tax law from Congress and valid implementation by government agencies. Example, BIR or Bureau of Customs for Customs and Tariff Duties. Okay. Isa ang violated dyan, violation of due process of law. Valid implementation. Example, dapat within the situs. Okay, number 6. Another E. Exemption of non-stock, non-profit institutions. Yan, mag-ingat kayo, Plaza. Pagdating sa non-stock, non-profit institutions, pagdating sa income tax, must be non-stock, non-profit. Pero pagdating sa property tax, yan. Okay. Property tax must be schools, even for profit, are exempt also, as well as donations for educational purposes. Take note of that. So yung requirement ng Constitution na yan na exemption of non-stock, non-profit institutions ay exempt para yan sa income tax. Kasi pagdating sa property tax, schools even for profit are exempt also, as well as donations for educational purposes. Kahit na profit or non-profit, exempt ang school sa property tax at donation. Pero ang eskwelahan, pagdating sa income tax, kung hindi siya non-stock, non-profit, taxable siya. Pero mga schools na foundations, exempt. Mga religious institutions like yung pang mga mahala, like San Beda, religious yan. LaSalle, UST, puro exempt yan. Ateneo, exempt yan. Pero yung tapat ng San Beda, CEU, taxable yan. FEU, UE, ay mga taxable yan. Although, pag eskwelahan, plus, mas mababa ang tax. 10% lang ang tax nila, plus. Hindi katulad ng ibang corporations, it's 20% or 25%. Originally, 30% before COVID. Pero nung nagkaroon ng COVID, dahil maraming naghirap na corporations, ibinaba nila ng konti ang tax. From 30, ibinaba nila ng 5%. Okay? Okay, so dito na tayo sa 4, 5, 6. Uy. 4 yan. Then uniformity. 5 pala. Pang-anim na to. Pang-anim to due process. Ay, hindi pala. Kasi for uniformity, due process, yung exemption, yung equality. So 4, 5, 6, 7. O pangalawa na to, 8 na to. Diba? Kasi 4 yung N kanina. Then panglima yung uniformity. Kinumpare natin sa equality, 6. Then due process, 7. O ito, number 7 ang due process. Sorry 7. Ito, number 8 na tayo. Exemption of non-stock non-profit. So ito na lang natira, dalawa. Si C at saka si V. Ano yung C? Nine. Concurrence of majority of Congress for passage of any tax law. Kailangan may concurrence ang majority of Congress for a tax law, whether it is imposition or exemption. Majority of Congress. So, kailangan meron silang quorum. Ang quorum ng Congress, at least, excuse me, class. Okay. So, majority here is, of course, 1/2 plus 1. Majority yan. Eh, ang Congress ngayong klase, kwan eh. Parang kulang-kulang 300 sila. So at least 150. May quorum sila. O kung 150 na yan, sa 150, di ba 150 sila, at least 75%. At least 75 plus 1. At least, meaning at least 50% also are present. So kung halimbawa, example, ang total nila is 300, 300 lang, example, more or less. So 1/2 of that is 150. So yan, plus 1. So 151 ang quorum. Otherwise, void ang kanilang meeting. So 151. So what is majority of that? Ano yung concurrence of majority? Pag may quorum na sila, majority niyan is 70. Yan yung 1/2 plus 1. Yan ang 1/2 plus 1 naman. Pagdating sa votes, para yung manalo, kasi maglalaban ngayon. Ibig lang sabihin nito, kung 151, pwede na meron na silang valid quorum. So they can act now. Kasi pag walang quorum, adjourn. Ang pwede na mag-meeting yung mga committee. Pero as a whole, adjourn sila. Example lang yan, Kasi, minsan nagbabago yung total number ng mga congressman kasi may mga party list So basta kailangan may majority of Congress to pass any tax law. And number 10, yan yung veto power of the President. Ibig sabihin, halimbawa merong Congress, yung upper house at saka lower house, nag-okay na sila. Ipapas nila ngayon sa President yung tax bill. Hanggat hindi pa kasi na-aprobahan class, tax bill pa yan. So, ayaw ngayon ni President, ibinalik ngayon. Yun yung veto power. The President returned the PB. Meaning, ibinalik sa Congress. Meaning, he did not sign. Pero panahon ni Digong, meron silang tinatawag na packet dito. Ang ibig sabihin ng packet dito, portions of the tax law. Portions of the tax law vetoed by the President. Vetoed by the President. Right now, inaalaw yan. Ginawa yan several times ni Digong. Inaprobahan niya yung train law, pero may mga portions sa train law na kinwestiyon niya. Pero may time na buong batas, ayaw niya. Walang magagawa ang Congress. Kundi makipag-usap. Pero kung gusto nila makipag-away sa presidente, yun ang matindi. Because this veto power can be, ayan, pag tinanong ka, this veto power can be defeated by 2/3 vote of Congress. Sa constitution niya. Can the veto power be defeated by Congress? Yes, it can be defeated. By 2/3 vote of Congress. 2/3 yan, yung kung 300 sila, edi 2/3, 75%. Ganon din ang mga senator. Senator ay 24, o di 2/3, so 75%. Noon. Okay, so that finishes already the constitutional limitations. 10 constitutional limitations. Tinatanong sa board exam yung class, ha? Kasi ang tanong ganito, example, which of the following is a constitutional limitation? Okay, A. O kaya, is not a constitutional limitation. Okay, lalagay nila. None. Impairment rule. None. Imprisonment rule. None. Appropriation rule. Then, none. Delegation rule. Which is not a constitutional limitation. This is your answer. Because non-delegation rule is an inherent limitation. All the rest are constitutional. 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 So that is an example. See? Eh kung hindi mo alam, anong malay mo? Kaya, kahit na yan lang ang alam mo yung spine, yung penis niti, yan lang alam mo, okay na. Kasi it follows na lahat ng hindi kasama sa spine, constitutional yun as a rule. Ito lang ang inherent limitation. Cetus of taxation known as territoriality rule, public purpose rule, international committee rule, non-delegation rule, exemption of government rule, and double taxation rule. Non-delegation rule, inherent siya. All the rest are constitutional. Ganyan magtanong o kuminsan naman, tinatanong, all are inherent limitations except. Yun naman. Nalagay cetus of taxation, public purpose, international committee, non-delegation, tapos biglang sisingitan ng veto power of the president. Alam mo na yun, kasi veto power of the president is a constitutional limitation. Okay. Now, another important topic is, what are the, bago tayo mag-classification, stages in the taxation system. Importante din yan. Kasi tatlo yan. The first stage, the second stage, although there is a third stage in other books. The first stage and the second is on the side of the government. Ito naman is on the side of the TP. TP means taxpayer. So what is the first? The first is what you call levying. Levying or imposition of taxes. Yan yung paggawa ng batas ng Congress, which is called the Legislative Act. Legislative kasi nga care of Congress. Yan yung paggawa nila ng batas. Pag may batas na, ipapas na nila yan sa Congress Pag okay na yan, yung lower house plus upper house, ipapas na nila yan sa Office of the President to sign. Tapos pag napirmahan, ipapublish na yan sa newspaper of general circulation. Then, effective na yan normally 15 days after. Unless law will provide for. Pero sa totoo lang, gagawa muna sila ng IRR, implementing rules and regulations para kumpleto. Pero normally, laws take effect 15 days after, lalo na kung may IRR. IRR, pag kumplito na yan, that's the time BIR will implement. BIR will implement. So, ito yung collection of taxes. Collection of taxes, which is also known as tax administration. Minsan tinanong sa board exam yan. Several times tinanong. Care of, she call it which is an executive or administrative act because it is done by the executive branch. Actually, pagka-effective na yung class, dadaan mo na yan, ipapadala yan sa Department of Finance. Because under Department of Finance are the two bureaus charged with the collection of taxes. The Bureau of Internal Revenue and the Bureau of Customs. Okay. BIR and Bureau of Customs. Third, yan yung collection of taxes. Third is on the side of the taxpayer, and they call it payment of taxes. Also known as incidence. Incidence of taxation. Hindi impact tinanong yan minsan. Impact of taxation daw is the same with incidence. False. Impact of taxation is different from incidence of taxation. Okay. Ilan ang stages? Also known as steps in the taxation system, also known as phases in the taxation system. Hindi phases na F, phases na PH. Wait, hindi natin nakita. Ito, also known as steps in the taxation system, also known as phases